Blue. How many of you really know what Back the Blue means and what it stands for just beyond the slogan? Back the Blue is a movement created to express public support for police officers. It stands for recognizing the dedication and risk that they take to serve and protect our communities. Back the Blue is not only showing appreciation for officers, but it's advocating for their well-being and safety. By the end of this speech, I hope you will better understand the mental health challenges police officers face and why the public misunderstanding is part of the problem, and how we, if we have better support systems and community involvement, can make a meaningful difference. This topic matters to you because if we expect police officers to show up for us daily, then we must also be willing to show up for them. The way we support officers impacts their well-being of everyone, including our families, neighborhoods, and for the future police officers. My name is Allison Holbrook, and I've spent weeks researching over the topic of law enforcement and their mental health. I'm here to persuade you that the problem lies in people. We misunderstand the mental health challenges faced by police officers. This can be solved through better programs, increased community involvement, and addressing the issues. If we are healing the helpers of our community, however, if we fail to take action, we will have to confront the serious consequences that come with it. Let's begin with my first point that there's a serious problem when it comes to mental health of officers. First of all, police officers are facing mental health issues due to high stress and nature that comes with their job. Police officers are regularly exposed to traumatic situations, some including violent crimes, accidents, and even life-threatening encounters. This type of trauma affects not just their job performance, but it also affects their personal well-being, leading to higher rates of depression, anxiety, and even suicide among officers. Back in 2020, Corporal T.J. Webb, a U.S. Marshal in the Fugitive Task Force, was on a call. Upon arrival and identifying himself, he ordered a man named Rivera to show his hands. Rivera immediately opened fire and shot TJ 6 times, including one to the face. He was airlifted immediately to the Christina Care in critical condition. Here's TJ's wife Amanda on the Wildcast podcast talking about some different things that should change within the law enforcement field.
Paying out in lawsuits right now. I think regular mental health treatment should be part of a first responders.
Yes.
Is it gonna cost money? Sure is, but you know how much you're paying out in lawsuits right now?
I mean, I was just gonna say.
To support each other in getting treatment, and not say that it's a terrible thing. Not see them as weak-minded or that, you know, they just can't take it. They're not supposed to. Body's meant for that.
They're dealing with trauma on a day-to-day basis within police home. It's only getting worse. I feel like you're more cops billing themselves now than ever. I feel like it's all over. Every time I open my social, another cop. That's the fact that these PDs or our government or the states aren't like, we have a problem.
Yeah.
We do have a problem, and Amanda throughout this video expresses her insight into the mental health crisis affecting our law enforcement officers and their families, emphasizing the need for support and understanding within our own communities. Another major issue to the mental health crisis within law enforcement is the lack of access to proper mental health. There are no services. According to the study by Padilla, many officers report that while mental health resources are technically there, they often feel unsafe to use them. This is because officers fear being labeled as weak or unfit to do their job. There's a stigma within our own society that creates the environment where officers feel they must suffer in silence even when they're facing severe mental health challenges such as PTSD or anxiety and depression. Police officers are worried about seeking help because they fear it could damage their career and public image. This is because if an officer does seek mental health treatment, they face liability concerns such as being deemed unfit for duty or facing open area disciplinary action, which can prevent them leading to get no help either way. This infograph shows that one out of 4 first responders are diagnosed with PTSD. It also shows how the repeated exposure to trauma, long hours, and public pressure contributes to the high risk of depression, anxiety, and even suicide, making the need for proper mental health support more urgent. Secondly, this problem can be solved by improving support systems for police officers and providing community involvement. Duvant's article states that one of the most effective ways to address the mental health challenges faced by officers is to create more accessible mental resources tailored specifically for them. This would include regular counseling sessions, peer support programs, and stress management, and also mental health programs that are anonymous and confidential for them. This would reduce the stigma and encourage more officers to seek the help they need. Additionally, we need to support the community to recognize the importance of officers' mental health. A study by Thompson emphasizes the roles of public support in reducing stress and improving job satisfaction for officers. When we as a community engage and support officers with their mental health, we can be part of the change in their health and overall job performance. Finally, imagine what would happen if we actually listened and took real steps towards something that the mental health of officers. If we begin creating programs to allow officers to get the help they need without the fear of punishment, we will not only see healthier officers, but a more stable and effective police force overall. A study by Kiro states that officers who have access to confidential, stigma-free support, they have shown significantly improved coping skills. This proves that if we invest in real mental health resources, we'll prevent burnout and protect both officers and the public they serve. According to another article, the supplementary material of PTSD study shows that officers who receive early mental health treatment after a traumatic event are far less likely to develop the long-term PTSD symptoms. This research shows that the importance of immediate, judgment-free support can reduce emotional damage and help officers return to their job safely. If we prioritize these types of programs, we'll be helping many officers, their families, and overall our whole community. Backing the Blue isn't just some catchy slogan. It's about showing up for the officers in a way that truly matters. Today I've shared how police officers face serious mental health challenges due to the constant stress and trauma, and how stigma and fear of judgment often stop them from getting help. I explained that this problem can be solved with better support systems, confidential resources, and a stronger community involvement. I ask you to imagine what would happen if we took action. A police force that's not just physically strong, but also emotionally supported. A system where officers can get help without fear, leading to stronger communities and greater trust. So I ask you again, do you really know what Back the Blue means? It's not just a word, it's an action. That's why I'm asking you to all take one small step with me today to lead real change. I'll be passing out these Back the Blue bracelets after my speech, not just as a symbol, but as a reminder for all. A reminder that one meaningful conversation with someone about this issue, asking them what they think, sharing what you've learned, challenging them to support the mental health of officers, that's how our movement can grow. One person's actions at a time. So I hope you'll join me in being part of this action. Thank you for listening.